question is, how do the social normalities children are exposed to impact their future viewpoints and opinions? So over the past few years, the use of social media has expanded drastically. This can be seen in a quote from Edward Kessler, who's the founder of the Wolf Institute, which specializes in the coexistence of Islam, Christian, and Jewish communities. He says that Google, famous for its web search engine, is also worth mentioning. In 2010, only 12 years after incorporation, unique visitors to Google surpassed 1 billion for the first time, up from 931 million unique visitors a year earlier. This shows just how drastically the amount of people using social media has increased, and because of all these new users, there are many new ideas and topics that are being spread online which can reach different subjects such as social subjects, ethical subjects, and political subjects. With all this in mind, my claim is the social influences adolescents are exposed to in developing their viewpoints have positively impacted their political individualism and social health, as seen in past generations, and will continue to do so for future generations. Some of these main influences can be seen in political views. Again, Edward Kessler says that individuals communicate their own interpretations of events in text rather than rely on the accounts of other leaders in religious or political. This is showing that many new young people and adolescents are getting a lot of their information from online rather than the traditional leaders politically or socially. So they are being exposed to many more new viewpoints and opinions than they would in the past. Eric Arias, who has written other accounts on the effect of social normalities on children, says that indeed many scholars have shown that media effects abound and cover a wide area of topics, anywhere from political support to the electoral behavior up to the perpetration of violence. This shows, again, just how much social media impacts the political normalities that adolescents are exposed to. These effects can also be seen in social influences. So one of the main social influences that adolescents are exposed to is peer pressure. In today's society, the cool person is often seen as distant and individualistic, which is causing the young generation to grow up to want to be more individualistic. So they are developing many of their own new ideas because that is what is considered cool. Celebrity influencers also play a big role in what children grow up thinking of as cool. So celebrity influencers often decide what lifestyles are socially acceptable and what the social norms are. This graph shows the change in the use of social media between the years 2015 and 2016. Such platforms as Twitter, Facebook, Google, and Instagram grew almost 100% in just a year, and Pinterest and LinkedIn grew over 200% in just 1 year. These influences can also be seen in history in things such as the Civil Rights Movement. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. says that segregation is not only politically, economically, and sociologically unsound, it is morally wrong and sinful. He exposed this new idea that segregation was wrong to the young people of the time who would not have had this idea if he was not there to expose it to them. This caused for a big change to take place which may not have been implicated into society without his presence. This can also be seen in things such as urbanization. Richard Blanco, who was an immigrant to the United States, and because of this, he had a different upbringing, which was more poor. So a lot of his good childhood memories were from a motel where he would take his vacations, but because of urbanization, the motel was drastically changed so they could be more modern. He says that I want to blame the condos, their shadows for ruining the beach. I want to chase the snowbirds away with their tacky mansions and yachts. This shows his idea on urbanization was very different from the normal view because of the things that he was exposed to as an adolescent. This graph shows the national high school smoking trends. So smoking reached its height in 1997 with 34.6% of teens smoking, which decreased dramatically in 2013 to only 15.7%. This was a 57% decline in the amount of teens smoking. This is partly due to the fact that many of the influencers of the time in the early 2000s decided to stop smoking, and it wasn't portrayed as much in the media anymore. So a lot of adolescents and teens decided that it wasn't very cool anymore because the cool people weren't doing it anymore. So some people say that the social influencers are causing young people to engage in harmful activities such as drinking, undereating, or engaging in drugs and alcohol. But although this is true in some situations, it is also helping people to become more healthy because they are seeing a lot of celebrities engage in things that are more healthy, and they are promoting more healthier lifestyles. This quote from We Are What We Eat shows that 50% of people are actually choosing more healthy food diets and things so that they can fit in more with what they think society expects of them. So with all this in mind, one solution would be to educate children on the consequences of their actions and how to spot fake news. This could be done by implementing a class in school once a week or a few times a month. This class could teach individuals on the consequences of their actions, such as engaging in things such as drinking and smoking, and the negative aspects that it has associated to their health. But schools may not want to spend time and money doing this because it would take away funding for for more like curricular-based activities and subjects. And where would money come from for funding to create these presentations and research so that the information can be properly taught to the students?
Okay, a couple of questions for you. The first one is, what information did you need that you weren't able to find or locate? And then how did you go about trying to find that information?
I wanted to find some exact examples of implementing, of schools implementing a curriculum that taught not only school subjects but also how to go about life in a healthy method. But I couldn't find the specific examples that I wanted, and I tried to look this up on Google and look at different schools websites to see what their curriculums were exactly.
Okay. And then your other question is, how does your conclusion respond to any of the other research or sources that you examined?
So my conclusion to educate children on the negative consequences of their actions came from my idea that was shown in this, how smoking had dramatically decreased in the early 2000s because less celebrities were showing themselves smoking, and because it was being shown more in society how negative it was for people's health. So I decided that if more things were taught about how drinking was so negative and drug use was so negative, how smoking had been taught to be negative, then more and more children would choose a more healthier lifestyle like that.